Hey everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media, and welcome to the first Tuesday of a brand new month. So you know what that means. I am going to be talking about my most anticipated releases on home media for the month of February 2023. Now, I'll admit, for me personally, this is not a great month. It's kind of like January, where there are really only maybe 2 or 3 that I absolutely know I want. And then everything else is like, I'll get it maybe eventually or when it drops in price. Now, like January, I'm not going to have any honorable mentions this month, but I will say there are some big ones coming out, like Strange World from Disney is coming out on 4K and Blu-ray. And then Black Panther: Wakanda Forever is also coming out. Both of those, I'm certain I will have in my collection at some point, but I'll likely wait on them just because I don't need them right now. I have not watched Strange World yet. Need to check that one out on Disney Plus to make sure I like it. And then Black Panther, I will absolutely buy. It's just I don't need it today because I'm not caught up yet, as I always say. So I will get around to it eventually, but it's not going to be listed in this video. So with all of that said, let's dive in to the top 5 that I am most excited about. Before we do though, if you have a quick second, hit that like button down below. That engagement really does help me out. But with that said, let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right in to the 5 home media releases for February that I need to own. Coming in at number 5 this month is a movie that I've seen once and I didn't love it, but I want to give it another chance. This is 2001's Training Day, and this one is being released by Warner Brothers on February 28th, 2023, and I'll mention I have my notes down here, so if I'm looking down, that's what I'm looking at. So, like I said, I have seen this one once. It was when it was relatively new. Honestly, in my head, I have it that I rented it on VHS from Blockbuster. Now, I don't know if that's accurate or not, but that's what I remember about this one. So that said, I feel like I may have just watched this one when I was a little bit too young to fully appreciate it because it should have everything going for it. It has an amazing cast. It's a Denzel Washington film and everybody seems to love this movie. So I'm not sure what it was now many years later that I didn't love about it, probably 20 years later, which is absolutely mind-blowing to me. But I can't tell you what it is or why it is I didn't love it, but I'm very interested to check this one out again, and I don't own it on Blu-ray, so I figured this would probably be a good one to pick up. Now, this is one that does have a 4K steelbook with it as well. Because it's not a favorite of mine, I will not be going the steelbook route, and honestly, I don't think it looks that great, to be frank with you, and you might hear me say that once or twice more here in this video. So this is one I will definitely be going the slipcover route on. Now, on the AV side of this, it does have an HDR10 color grading, but no Dolby Vision, which is a little bit disappointing, but, you know, it is what it is. On the audio side, though, it does have a Dolby Atmos track, which is the best of the best at this point, so I'm sure it's going to sound amazing. And then on the special features front, this is another one like I'm going to talk about in a few of these today. No new special features from what I can tell, but it does look like everything seems to have been ported over from previous releases, so that's always a positive. There's an alternate ending on this, some deleted scenes, there is a featurette, and then because it's a 2001 film, there are music videos on this as well, which is just so much fun. It is such a like early 2000s thing to have on there, so I love that. So this is one. Will I pick it up on release day? Probably not. I'll probably wait for this one to drop in price a little bit, but it is still a cool one that's coming out, a good 4K upgrade. So this one is currently $24.96 for the standard release on Amazon, and all of these prices are as of filming, and the steelbook is $32.99. I don't know if I mentioned it, but that is a Best Buy exclusive 4K steelbook, but honestly, like I said, I don't love how it looks, so I would go the slipcover route. So $24.96 for the standard release and $32.99 for the steelbook, and this one comes out from Warner Brothers on February 28th, 2023. Coming in at number 4 is actually a bit of a cheat, which won't be the only cheat on this list, but this is going to be 2 releases, both from Mill Creek Entertainment, and both of these are multi-film packs, which is awesome. So both of these come out on February 14th, which finally, because they were actually supposed to come out in either November or December of 2022, but for whatever reason they got delayed, and now they're coming out on Valentine's Day, which is awesome. We have Sci-Fi from the Vault and Thrillers from the Vault. So the Sci-Fi collection has 4 different movies on it. Let me list them off here. There's Creature with the Atom Brain, It Came from Beneath the Sea, 20 Million Miles to Earth, and The 30-Foot Bride of Candy Rock. And then on the Thrillers collection, there's 8 different films, which is incredible. On the Thrillers collection, there is The Black Room, The Man They Could Not Hang, Before I Hang, The Man with 9 Lives, The Devil Commands, The Boogeyman Will Get You, The Return of the Vampire, and 5. So these are awesome collections. A lot of these are like 30s and 40s films, which, yes, please. Anytime I can add that, that era of film to my collection, I'm all about it. Now, what's really cool about these is on the special features, each of them do have at least one featurette. One of them has 2. Which one is it? I think it's the sci-fi one has 2 different featurettes. Yeah, one called They Came from Beyond, and the other one is called Fantastical Features. But on both of these, there are also select audio commentary tracks on some of the films. It doesn't list how many of them actually have audio commentaries, but there are select, so whatever number that is. But what's really cool about that is that one of these audio commentary tracks is actually from one of my favorite YouTubers who I've talked about here in multiple times on the channel in the past. But Heath from over at Serial at Midnight does one of the audio commentary tracks, which is fantastic. Now, you guys know, if you've watched the channel, I'm not much of an audio commentary guy, but I will absolutely be making an exception this time through because it's Heath. I got to hear what he has to say about whichever film he has an audio track on. So really looking forward to this one. Again, this is a little bit reminiscent of some of like vintage Mill Creek, where they used to release like those old school, like public domain 50 movie packs way back in the day and things like that. So these are awesome collections that I'm really excited to have. And the prices are not bad either. For the sci-fi collection, which is the 4 films, that's currently $17.99, which is a great price for 4 movies on Blu-ray. On the thriller side, because there's 8, it is a little bit pricier, but still it's $34.99 currently on Amazon. Now, both of these have the potential to drop a little bit more because it is Mill Creek, but even if not, that's a really good deal for 8 different movies or 4 different movies, whichever collection you go with. So I'm hoping to get both of these sets in, and I can give you guys my thoughts on them as I watch through them. But yeah, really excited for both of these. What is that, 12 movies? Yeah, 12 movies. My math is terrible. For, from the 30s and 40s, sci-fi and thriller/horror. I'm in. Really excited for this. So again, Sci-Fi from the Vault and Thrillers from the Vault, both released by Mill Creek Entertainment on Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2023. I am thrilled that number 3 is being re-released on 4K and in one of the Lionsgate steelbooks that they always hit Best Buy recently, and they look amazing. So this is from 2013, Warm Bodies, and as I said, it is from Lionsgate, and this is a Best Buy exclusive 4K release. This thing looks really awesome. So this is a movie that I watched for the first time, I don't know, somewhere around when it was new, and I didn't expect to like this one at all. I think actually my wife, girlfriend at the time, wanted to watch it, and I begrudgingly agreed, but this one blew me away. Like, I thought it was hilarious. It's a it's a teen comedy, a teen romance mixed with a zombie film. So our main character, our main girl, falls in love with this zombie who is like not a full-on zombie. It's very strange, but it's really well done. It's, a bit sentimental at points, but it's hilarious. A really good cast on this as well. So this is a weird one because the original 4K release of this, unfortunately, it's out of print, and I've just never come across it. And then the Blu-ray, I don't have that either. So, I don't own this one at all, and I really enjoy this movie. So this is a no-brainer for me. Absolutely grabbing this one, assuming that it is in stock on release day at Best Buy, which hopefully it will be. So on the AV side of this one, well, I don't know. Let me check real quick. I didn't write it down for some reason. All right, so I pulled up bluray.com to get some specs here, and it does look like it is an upscaled 4K, so keep that in mind if that matters to you. It does not matter to me because they still look amazing to me. So it is upscaled, though. And then on top of that, there is a Dolby Vision and an HDR10 color grading, so the best of the best there, plus a Dolby Atmos soundtrack. So this is going to look and sound amazing. And I was actually looking at some reviews of the previous 4K release, and they were getting like 4.5 out of 5 stars for the AV side of things. So this should be, I would expect, the exact same disc as the previous 4K release, because on top of those great AV features, there also is all of the original special features that have been ported over. So what's weird about the special features is that that it looks like there's been no new special features created for this since 2013 when the original Blu-ray was released, because even on the previous 4K, it was just all of the Blu-ray features ported over, and the same can be said here. So unfortunately nothing new, but again, the original 4K is out of print, and this steelbook looks fantastic. So this is a no-brainer for me, absolutely grabbing this one. I am thrilled to upgrade to, well, I don't even have it in my collection, so it's not even technically an upgrade for me, but I'm just happy to own it. This is going to be Warm Bodies from 2013, the Best Buy exclusive steelbook on 4K from Lionsgate. And that one comes out today, February 7th. Number 2 is one that I have been waiting to hit 4K for so long now, and thanks to MPI Media Group, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 1974 is finally hitting 4K on February 28th. This is a horror movie that needs no introduction. It is a bona fide classic. I've seen this movie honestly more times than I can count at this point. I actually, a few years ago, I read the Making of book by Gunnar Hansen, fantastic, the original Leatherface, and it's just fantastic. A wonderful behind the scenes look at the making of this film, and it made me love this movie even more the next time I watched it. So I cannot wait to see this new 4K transfer for this. And now I will say this one, I'm going to go with the slipcover version, but there is also a steelbook for this one. Again, for my money, I think the slipcover version looks significantly cooler than the steelbook, so I will definitely be going the slip route. On the AV side of things, you get Dolby Vision, you get HDR10, you get Dolby Atmos on audio. Like, it's gonna look and sound the best it ever has, and I cannot wait to see this one in action. I am so excited for this. Now, at first, when this was announced, I thought, oh my gosh, that price. Like, it's more than I typically would want to pay for a 4K release, especially one that I've owned multiple times on Blu-ray, I've owned it on DVD. I've owned it a lot. So do I want to spend this much on it? But then I was looking at the special features, and not only is it loaded with some old special features that have been ported over, but there's also a brand new feature-length documentary about the making of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Sold. You got my money. So, like I said, it's not cheap. This is currently $32.99 on Amazon for the slipcover variant. And then the steelbook is $39.99 on Amazon right now. So, keep in mind, it's not cheap, but if you love this movie as much as I do, and you get that special, that brand new feature-length documentary, that's worth it to me. So, I've pre-ordered this one. The problem is, I waited to pre-order it, and now my copy is not scheduled to ship until like March 28th or something ridiculous, like a month after release. Hopefully they are just under-promising and will over-deliver, and I'll get it sooner than that, but that's my fault. I should have pre-ordered it the second it hit, but I waited because I'm lame, so now I have to wait an extra month potentially for my copy of TCM to arrive. But if it is something you're interested in, definitely pre-order it ASAP, because like I said, it's getting pushed further and further back as we go here. So anyway, cannot wait to see this one in 4K. Once I get it, I have to do a review on it. It's just a fantastic film. So from 1974, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is finally hitting 4K from MPI Media Group on February 28th. All right, so number 1 is actually going to be the second cheat that I alluded to earlier, and I cannot wait for both of these to arrive at my doorstep. These are films that are very similar, as you'll see in just a second. Both of them were announced by Vinegar Syndrome just last week as of filming, and this is Hitman Hart Wrestling with Shadows from 1998 and Glow, the story of the gorgeous ladies of wrestling from 2012. These are both iconic wrestling documentaries in their own right. Obviously, Wrestling with Shadows is much more so than Glow, but I still absolutely loved Glow when I watched it. I gave it like 9 out of 10 stars on IMDb back when I watched it in 2012. And then Wrestling with Shadows is the infamous Montreal Screwjob behind the scenes look from Bret Hart. Like, it is absolutely iconic. I can't think of a better word to describe it. These are amazing wrestling documentaries. And you guys know, if you watch me on Twitter, if you follow me here, you know I'm a huge wrestling fan. I have been for as long as I can remember. This is apparently my kryptonite. You guys know I am cheap as cheap gets. It takes a lot for me to buy something brand new when it's not on like a good discount. But boy, oh boy, it didn't take me long at all. I dropped the nearly $70 like minutes after these were both announced on Vinegar Syndrome website. And that's $70 after shipping and taxes and everything. But both of these are $27.99 for the limited edition slipcover variant on vinegarsyndrome.com right now. And I cannot think of anything that is more worth it to me. So I guess my kryptonite is boutique label mixed with pro wrestling documentary. That's where I'll drop my money without even thinking about it. So just thrilled that these are coming out. And what's really cool about these are the special features included. So with the Wrestling with Shadows, not only is there some cool like other special features from back when, I think all in all, there's like 150 minutes of bonus features, not including an audio commentary track, but I have to talk about that audio commentary track because it's Bret Hart along with Dave Meltzer of Wrestling Observer Newsletter, two of like the biggest names in wrestling. So like in terms of like press and then just professional wrestler themselves, cannot wait to listen to that. Again, not a commentary track guy, but this month, these are some tracks I'm absolutely listening to. On top of that, there is a new featurette from 2022. I think it's like 30 minutes or so that it will be like a behind the scenes making of style featurette. Cannot wait to check that out. And then on the Glow side, they also have some special features, not nearly as many. The one I want to highlight there, which is super cool, is there is 70 minutes of like old vintage Glow matches, music videos, and skits. Cannot wait. If you don't know what Glow is, Glow was a all-women's wrestling company from the 80s. And it just, that rock and wrestling that the WWF was doing in the 80s, it's that turned up to like 11. It is amazing. It is just so much fun to watch. So these have fantastic special features, and they are iconic. I cannot wait to have both of these at my doorstep. Like I said, I've already ordered them, but let me give a word of warning here. So these are, if you want the limited edition slipcover variant for Glow, as of filming, there's under 1,000. So there's the most of that one, but if you want the standard release, I think there was like under 300. But then on Wrestling with Shadows, there's under 400 for the limited edition slip and under 300 for the standard edition. So if you want these, get on them ASAP. Both of these come out on February 28th, 2023. So definitely jump on these if you are as big a fan of wrestling as I am. I cannot wait for these. This is probably my most anticipated release of the year so far, even though they just were announced last week. Like, I am so thrilled that these are hitting Blu-ray from Vinegar Syndrome. Cannot wait to add both of these to my collection, and I will absolutely be talking about them more on the channel here in the future. So those are the 7 releases that I cannot wait for in February. All right, so I said at the beginning that January wasn't a fantastic month for me, but honestly, as I was going through these, I was just getting more and more hyped about them. So these are things that I'm genuinely excited about, and I cannot wait to pick up. So let me know down in the comments below, what are you grabbing? Anything else that I didn't talk about here? Are you getting some of those bigger releases like Black Panther or Strange World? Let me know what you're grabbing, and anything else you want to talk about down in the comments below. I really do appreciate any and all support down there, so thanks so much for that. But as always, if you guys enjoyed this one, please hit that like button down below. That engagement really does help me out. If you didn't like it, thumbs down. That lets me know something as well, that maybe I need to change something. But as I always say, guys, I don't just talk movies, I talk all things media. Books, movies, video games, graphic novels, manga. If it's media related, I'm interested in it. And if you are too, you might consider subscribing. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for today. I just want to say thank you all so much for watching, and I want to encourage you to consume some media today. I'll catch you next time.